Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back. Today I really just wanted to talk to you guys and kind of fill you in on pretty much what's going to be happening to our old map. And for those of you who are either new to the channel or have been here a little while but still really haven't recognized what this place is, basically it was that world with all of our tutorials on it, the Viking builds, medieval, Gothic, and Nordic as well, and there was also a few ships here and there. But as I was saying, so many people have kind of been requesting for the download for this map. So many that I figured, you know what, why not? I mean, we have, in a sense, moved on to Greywatch, and I'm really kind of enjoying that right now. I don't really want to come back to this stuff. So it's going to be a while before we come back, if ever. So we're going to be kind of taking one final look at everything, and like I said, there will be a download in the description. And by the way, if you want the map without all the builds, I'll try to remember to place a link for that down there as well. If not, just feel free to shoot me some kind of a reminder and I'll put that down there, or just send you a link in the comments, whatever's easier. So yeah, basically, if you're new, this was our original town that we kind of started. Originally, it was just one or two builds. It wasn't really meant to be a whole city, and then I think once we got to the... was it the blacksmith? I'm pretty sure it was the blacksmith. We started turning it into a sort of let's build, and I kind of went into a bunch of the different elements that kind of go into making a full functional town. And I think we have, I'd say at least maybe 15 buildings here, maybe a little less. And it really just, it started to all come together, and then I think we may have started some new styles along the way, such as the medieval one, and then was it the Gothic one that came after that? I'm pretty sure it was. But like I said, this was our first one we really ever got thoroughly into. But it was one of our very, very early sort of builds. So as you may notice as you come around here, the interiors in here are really bad. And believe it or not, this town here is where my interiors all began. Before this, I completely hated them for quite some time after this as well. But now, I'd say I like doing the interiors as much as the exteriors. And I think that's all thanks to you guys kind of, you know, pressuring me into doing them. But yeah, as we go around here, you'll notice they just kind of get worse and worse. The lighting in them is terrible. There's just so much empty, kind of bland and boring space just lying around. It's kind of disappointing. But for those of you who watch my newer videos, you will have noticed that the interiors, well, hopefully you think they've gotten quite a bit better. But before we move on from this town, I guess we'll cover a couple more things. And by the way, I'll try to make it so you can spawn here when you first download the map. And that way you can kind of watch the video to sort of navigate from here to some of the other towns. I believe the majority of them are that way. And if you want to find that elven ship we made a long time ago, all you have to do is follow this river, and then eventually you should come to... it's either an ocean or a lake. And somewhere in there is the elven ship, I can promise you that. But if I just go out there right now, it's been so long, I'm not going to be able to find it, there's no way. But just believe me when I say, there's something out there, and I'm sure there's quite a few other surprises that I've forgotten about here and there, that hopefully some of you will come across and discover for yourselves. But yeah, all in all, I think this town turned out pretty decent, at least for one of our first ones we really kind of spent a good amount of time on. And although maybe it's not too realistic of a Viking style, I know a lot of you told me that, it really wasn't meant to be. It was kind of more of my own spin-off that was really a bit more fantasy, and that's just kind of what I like doing. And I think all these buildings really turned out a whole lot nicer because of that than they would have if we would have decided to just make them little tiny shacks and whatnot, or longhouses with thatch roofs. And although that is more realistic, like I said, that really wasn't what I was going for. But yeah, that kind of concludes our Viking town. I'm really not going to go too in-depth to each town because I really want to leave all the exploration and whatnot to you guys, so you actually have something to look forward to after you download the map. But now we'll go ahead and move on to our... I think we'll head up to the Nordic one, and then from there we'll go to the medieval, which is over that way, if you just want to head straight to that instead. Along the way, you'll kind of see this river, so that should be kind of an easy, almost road map for you to navigate your way up to the Nordic town. And along here, you'll see a few different things that we tried out, such as a well and some kind of unfinished house. I'm not really sure what happened there. Maybe it burned down. And also this sort of keep here, which is a pretty cool build. Definitely not a really strong castle, since all you'd have to do is shoot a flaming arrow on there, and that thing would just burn down very quickly. So yeah, I'm not really sure if I did a tutorial on that one or not. If you do want to download that map, or not that map, but that building just by itself, I think I have it over on my Planet Minecraft page, and it should be a schematic or something. But here we are at the Nordic Town. I think this was one of our newer ones that we started before Greywatch, so that's kind of the reason why there are so few buildings here. I really do like how the few we did make turned out, though. I think my favorite out of all of them is the little mage's house right here. It's definitely got such a cool shape to it, and I think that's really all due to the fact that it does have that tower there, which I really like. But we're not going to go into the interior, because like I said, hopefully we'll leave that up for you guys to do. But anyways, this here is our little barrack area. And I think this is one of the first times where we did a tutorial where I kind of skipped around and didn't show you how to place every single block, because that got a bit repetitive, didn't it? So that's that. And I'm pretty sure the first building we ever made in the Nordic style was this house here. Unless maybe I showed you this one and then we did a tutorial on this one to the left. I gotta say, this one to the right looks so much better. But yeah, at least you guys can see that for yourselves now. And this here, this may have been the final building we made in this town. And this was the Nordic Guild Hall. I don't think we ever really decided what type of guild would go in here. But if you guys decide to maybe turn this into your own city and keep building onto it, maybe you'll have better luck with that. But yeah, that kind of concludes our Nordic Town. There really isn't too much else to talk about here, just because, like I said, there really aren't that many buildings. But now we'll go ahead and navigate, or at least try to move over, to our medieval town, which is the second to last one we need to take a look at today. And then after this one, we'll go ahead and move on to the Gothic Town, which may be, I'd say, well, I don't know. I was going to say it might be our second most complete town alongside the Viking one, but now that I'm seeing this medieval one here, this one may have a couple more buildings. So here we are at the main gate, which I gotta say turned out quite well for our first one. So we'll come through here, and then I believe the building immediately to the left of this one is the trading shop. And I think this was where our interiors started to get at least a little bit better. As you can see here, there's a bit more color and just decoration thrown around here and there. And a bit more clutter, which in a sense does make it a bit more difficult to kind of walk around, but then again, in my mind, it kind of makes the build a bit more cozy when it's got a few more tight spaces here and there. And also, if you want to make your builds a bit more cozy, try to get the lighting a bit better. So don't throw torches everywhere and don't have too few of them, but if you can get them just right, it really will create a very nice and moody atmosphere. But here we have kind of the market area, and I believe this was the apothecary. Man, it's tough to remember what some of these were. It's been so long. But yeah, that was the apothecary here. So there was quite a few plants and little bits of medicine and remedies lying around inside. And what else was there? To the right, I think we have... What was this? Oh, some kind of tavern, I think? Must have been. I gotta stop taking a look at everything, because like I said, I really did not want to go too in depth. But yeah, we kind of have a little market area, which some of you thought was quite small, but I think for the space given here, it kind of worked out quite well. But we have that kind of leading into the... I think this was more so a living area of the town. So if you're kind of wanting some ideas for houses, take a look at this one here. And if you want something smaller, this one all the way over to the right side. And then I believe this one was the inn. One of the first ones we did too. Although I don't think the interior... Oh man. This actually isn't as bad as I thought it would be. There's not really too much detail, but I must admit it's got quite a cool layout, at least. What's over here? Oh, a fireplace and stuff? Yeah, this ain't half bad. Plus the stairs are kind of concealed, so they don't really get into the way. Upstairs is kind of crappy, but oh well. We'll go ahead and move on out of here. And I think now that we have seen this... Oh man, I didn't mean to come into here, but yeah, this was kind of the, well, I'm sure you can figure out what that is. But yeah, like I said, we'll move on out of here, and I don't think there really is too much else to cover around in this area. Oh, I completely forgot about the prison. Yeah, that's over there. But I must mention, once again, that you guys must keep in mind that barely any of these buildings or areas are anywhere near complete. So the prison, its interior, I think maybe the first 2 or 3 floors are complete, but down where all the cells are and whatnot, that area is nowhere near finished. So just keep in mind, none of these things are complete. But yeah, I guess that's all I really need to say. But I think this here is kind of one of those little hidden gems that you might be able to spot as you're flying around here and there. Now, since we are done with this town here, we'll move on to our final one, which is the Gothic City. And if you want to navigate on over to that area, basically what you need to do is find this tower here on the left and then look over to the other one kind of opposite to it. And I think if you just fly this way, you should go ahead and reach the Gothic Town in no time. At least I hope so. You know, now that I think about it, it might be a bit more over to the left. I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. Oh no, there is one building there. That might have been the first house we ever did for the Gothic style. I can't remember. Unless maybe... Oh yeah, it was that one there. And then from that, I think we might have moved on to maybe a standard house or the barn, which is kind of what you see here. This is kind of a little farm village. And I think the other building that's down here would be... Is this the tavern? Oh yeah, it is. I can't remember. Did this have a cool basement? Nope. Oh, that's quite a shame. Whoa. What the heck is going on with the tables? Huh. I'm guessing they updated the texture pack or something, because I didn't put those there to begin with. But what else is there? Oh yeah, this was kind of the main city. This is where this was all gonna go, but as you're kind of noticing now, none of the things here got finished. But this was kind of, you know, planned out to be a rather larger sized port town. Hence the bigger docks and whatnot. So we have, I believe this was maybe a brewery. And what else was there? The warehouse. I can't really remember what this was. Was this maybe some kind of workshop? It must have been. Oh yeah, sure looks like it. And then I believe there may have been 1 or 2 more around here. Oh man. Yeah, I really forgot about this place. The cemetery? Not half bad. I mean, there's really not much to it, but it's a nice little area. And I believe this might have been our Gothic Manor, right? So one of our bigger sized buildings. And come to think of it, this might have been the last building we made for the Gothic style. I can't remember. That is quite an odd fireplace though. I'm not sure why I made it like that, but what else is in here? Some rooms and whatnot. Huh, I apologize if I'm getting rather lost, but it's kind of fun for me to just, you know, go around and see all the old stuff. Whoa. Oh, that's kind of cool. Old little wine cellar. I mean, I must admit, as I'm seeing this now, to me it looks kind of poorly made. Just because we have improved, I'd say a little bit. Especially with our interiors. Because we do them for just about every building now, which really helps. Just kind of goes to show that if you practice them enough, eventually you're bound to get better. But I think the last building that I see that we need to cover around here would be the boat. So I can't remember. Are these the same? No, this one here must be a little bit different than this one out here. So if you guys want to take a look at these boats, just flying over to the Gothic build, or Gothic City, I should say, and maybe these can give you some ideas or inspiration if you do want to end up building your own. But anyways, guys, that should do it for today. Like I said, I'll try to put not only the link to the map with the building down below in the description. Well, that's going to be down there for sure, because that's kind of what this is all about. But I will also try and remember to do the map without the buildings, if you guys do want that one as well. And also, I'm going to make it so you guys spawn over at the Viking town, so hopefully this video, if nothing else, will kind of serve as a nice navigational purpose, so you can find your way around to some of the other towns. But that is going to do it, so thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this quick little show around, and as always, I will see you in the next one.